Hi. And I can honestly say that this is the most annoying project that I've ever put together. Um, yeah, so we finally decided, we finally made that decision that we actually need to take out some of the trees. And yeah, I know that's going to upset a bunch of tree lovers, but it has to be done because it's just not working the way that I want it to. This is actually a firework problem. Um, this is actually where the fireworks are shooting off at problem. Also, some of them just like light up at random just because they can, and that's driving me crazy too. I was trying to get this done by the end of today, and I just don't think it's going to happen. We might have to go in until, go in to June on this one. Because right now, my sister is moving to another state. Um, she's moving to South Dakota. Um, and something about she'll be 5 hours away from Mount Rushmore. Um, that just didn't seem like a happy thought there. Not because it's like Mount Rushmore and I think it would be boring or something like that, but because it's going to take 5 hours to get there. Whoa, Um, where she lives now, she's only like 3 hours away from Disneyland. That is, really good. I mean, it's still gonna be a big trip, but if they had the money, of course. But it would still be a big trip, but it is doable. Although, if you've got, like, that thing where you've got to speed down the freeway, and technically, California, I don't want to encourage anybody speeding, but technically it says, well, on one page it says drive with the flow of traffic. And the flow of traffic is going, uh, is usually going about 80, 90 miles per hour because otherwise you'd be on that road for a really long time. Anyway, so the next 2 days, I mean, today and tomorrow, I'm going to work on this hard and heavy. The thing is, though, that I've got to help my sister with her Dreamlight Valley because she was getting really frustrated. She's got like 10 characters that she hasn't leveled up all the way yet. She hasn't been able to get Pluto. Um, I don't remember how you get Pluto. I might have to go back and watch my video for that. Um, and I'm trying to get my story done. I finally got up to. Oh, okay. So I'm about to start working on 315 out of I think I said 435 or something like that. We'll just call it 440. I know it's 430 something, but we'll just call it 440. So anyway, um, I will be so happy when there's like only 100 pages left, and then when there's less than that left. But of course, every time I get to feeling like I'm gonna get a lot of it done, um, something interrupts. And the something today is that my fingers started hurting for no reason. It's not even a finger on the hand that I smacked against the thing at Walmart. Um, if it was that, if it was that finger, I'd understand. I mean, it started to this morning, but then it was like, you know what? I'll behave myself. Yeah. But then my right hand, for some reason, is bugging me. I don't know. Anyway. So we're going to try to get as much of this done by 11 as possible. I really want to get off at 11 today. I know you're probably sitting there saying, yeah, right. But I'm going to sure try. Um, so I know I usually say this later in the video, but I write books and they're available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. They ship everywhere that Amazon ships to. They're available for free shipping, and I believe if you live in a country that is not North America, that it does the money conversion for you. You don't have to go to the bank and be going, I need to exchange my money for American dollars, so I can buy this book. They they don't do, you know, Amazon helps you out on that one and does it for you, as far as I know. Um, so there is a link in the description below. Actually, there's going to be 7 different links in the description below. One's for Pirate's Daughter, and another one's for Misfortune, and another one's for Hard Times. And there's yet another one for Esperanza's Party. It's her birthday party, but I didn't want to put Esperanza's birthday party because, that usually means that that the camera, so to speak, was actually at the part where she blows out the candles and all that. And what actually ended up happening is she's got a pink champagne cake. And they're drinking alcoholic beverages, so probably rum, whiskey, whatever. Um, Probably not beer because when I was a kid, um, I was like, I wanted soda. Well, no, not accidentally, I did it on purpose. But, I had a sip of my uncle's drink and it happened to be beer. And I'm like, no, I don't like that. But it was just a sip. I was young. But, it was just a sip. So, um, it was like just before my mom caught me, kind of thing. But anyway, they're drinking some kind of alcoholic beverage, so it's like all the um younger people are on the dance floor dancing to the music, and um oh, actually that back wall probably needs to stay there. Now that I think about it. So I think I've decided that I really like Emily Blunt's accent, but I don't remember, unless she's the actress in uh, Jungle Cruise. unless she's that actress, and I'm not sure she is. Um, I don't know that I've seen anything with her in it because I haven't seen Mary Poppins yet. But you know how Mary Poppins, the original, Julie Andrews, says spit spot. Yeah, Emily Blunt's spit spot, at least on on the talk show that she was talking on at the time. Uh-uh. It's not good enough. But, like they probably didn't want her to sound exactly like Julie Andrews. It's a remake, but they don't necessarily need it to sound exactly like her. Now, one of the movies that I wanted to see that was a remake because it kind of looked like a Greatest Showman kind of production was uh, I want to say it's called Wonka. That that might be pretty good to see. But my husband, after the Johnny Depp thing, like I like that movie, I really do. But I don't like the way that Johnny Depp just went and turned it to what he thought the character should be like instead of what it was like in the book. Because the Johnny Depp one is more like the book. Um, I like it, and I actually like it better, except for what Johnny Depp does. Because in the book, if you actually read the book, I'm not saying that he did or didn't, but if you actually read the book, it says that Willy Wonka was very giddy. He's like all happy because he gets to show people his factory. So he's like practically skipping, or maybe he was skipping. I can't exactly remember. Um, so that's the thing. I can go and give a great report on other people's books, and then I go and try to remember mine enough um, to get, to tell you about it, and it doesn't always work because I'm like, I think this is what happened. Oh, there was something that I said happened in the book. Oh, yeah, I was okay. So I was telling you that the reason why Ashley is all scared of storms is because Morgan's horse got out, and I said that I thought it was Hayden, William, and Jake that went after this horse. And I was very happy and surprised to find out I was right. I remembered it correctly. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Um, so, I was really happy about that because they're explaining to their friends. All of their friends have come over for Ashley's birthday party. But the thing is that they're having two different birthday parties. They're having one that is the family birthday party, so like the little kids can be there, and everybody gets cake and ice cream and everything. But then they bring out another cake for when the friends are going to be over. And um, Karen, the girl that Sean was taking down on dates for a while, I I said dating in the book, but they're not really dating. They're just going out on, like they're going to the movies. Speaking of movies, oh my goodness. Okay, speaking of movies, um, I think it's the uh Yeah, I think it's the last weekend of June. Our local movie theater, they go and show older movies, like movies that have been on DVD for years. But they show older movies, to get people to come and watch movies in the theater. And I think it's so cool. Like, I've been watching the movie Grease for years, and I did not know that there was a beach ball at the school. I don't know if that's on the DVD version. I could not find that ball to save my life. When I looked, I went and put in the DVD, and I'm like, there's no ball here, you know. But it's in the scene where um, Rizzo and Marty come in, and they come into the scene. There's somebody playing yo-yo behind them. If I remember correctly, there's somebody playing yo-yo. There somewhere on, somewhere in that scene is a beach ball, and they come into the scene. They're going ba ba bum ba 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 bum ba 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 ba. Um. Anyway, this is one of my favorite parts. Um. But like I'm always in it for the love scene, and I think that's why. Um. I think that's why I love it so much. Is that it's the budding romance between Sandy and Danny. But it's also, and I don't like the parts where Danny is being a big jerk because he thinks that that's what his friends want him to act like, because he told his friends a totally different story than what Sandy's telling her friends. Sandy's telling her friends the truth that, they were at the beach, and he was just holding her hand and being very sweet, and like opening car doors for her, and took her bowling. Well, he says took her bowling in the arcade, but like he's saying um took her bowling in the arcade, and then she says something about we drank lemonade, yeah, because it rhymed, and at least I'm sure that's the reason why that got put in there. But anyway, he's saying that he's making it sound a lot more uh adult than it was, and it's not okay. But the part I don't like the most is um it is the part where Rizzo is being a jerk. She goes and takes all the girls go and meet the guys in the parking lot, and there's Danny, and one of the girls is Sandy, of course. So she's like, Danny? And he's like, Sandy, wow, and this is after they've had that scene where they're singing Summer Nights. So, all of the guys are kind of expecting her to be like the girl Cha Cha that is in the movie later, I think. Because Cha Cha is described as the best dancer at St. Bernadette's, but Frenchie says with the worst reputation. Anyway. Anyway, but segue back to my books. So there's 7 books on Amazon right now. If I can ever finish this one, I'm supposed to be trying to finish it by my birthday, and it's a doable thing. But right now it just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen, cause like I said, we're about to start page 315, and I'm saying 440, but it's really 430 something. Um, Pages, so we haven't even gotten to the less than 100 pages yet. Um, and I've only got June to finish it. If I'm well, June and July, so I got about 2 months to finish it by my birthday, and then I got to remember how I did everything. I usually say, uh, matte cover, but I kind of wanted to go glossy, but that's more expensive, so, that's more expensive for them to print, so I just go with matte. Um, yes, no, not yesterday, this morning. Well, actually, I don't know when he sent it, but we'll just say this morning. My son was trying to convince me to use this one program. This one company to do my covers for me. I don't even know if he's checked out my books, but this, the company says no money up front, basically. They said it in slightly different words, but no money up front, and I'm like, well, if they're asking for money at all, I can't afford it, and I was not lying. There's a reason why we are not, like say advertising on Amazon um or advertising on Facebook groups or whatever. There's a reason for that. I can't afford it. Um but okay, so it turns out I didn't need to pre-record anything. They just sent out a note, a blank, um, like they sent the notice out to everybody, even though there was only 11 people that they needed to send it to. But we did not find that out until day before yesterday. And I was so annoyed. But, and I had my little upset moment, and then I was okay. But still, it was really annoying. I didn't need to pre-record anything. I could have just, stayed on here and streamed everything when it was supposed to be streamed, and I didn't know it, so I went and pre-recorded everything. It's okay though, because I got a lot done. Um, Clue has a lot of videos. Um, Clue has a lot of videos. I don't have anything to, I don't have anything that needs desperately recorded for Dreamlight Valley. Like when I'm doing my Dream Snap, I'll do that. And if there's anything to do besides that, I got the treasure hunt done. I was very happy about that. Okay, so we had a star path. I've been done with that for a few days now. Um, But I got done with that, and then I was like, okay, how do I do this treasure hunt? And I didn't know how, so I had to look it up on. Well, I tried not talking, but I tried asking. I mean, not asking, but watching Suro's video. That's what I'm trying to say. My brain hasn't wanted to work for the last few days for talking, and making sense. Uh, but anyway, I tried watching Suro's video, but it wasn't the one where he's showing exactly what to do. So I was like, oh man. Well, I had found a fishing spot that looked different from all the others. Um, if you're struggling with that, the thing is, look for the fishing spot that doesn't look like all the other fishing spots. Because, like, all the other fishing spots, if it's a gold ripple, it'll have like a red ring, and then there'll be gold bubbles. And if it's a blue fishing spot, then it'll be a blue ring with blue bubbles. And then if it's white, it'll be a white ring with white bubbles. So look for the one that's multicolor. I'm I saw that it had like pink and some other color. Oh, and I found out something the other day. I think that was the day before yesterday too. Um it turns out that they did call me in November, but it came up private number. Even though she said it was gonna come this time. She said it's gonna come up as Dollar Tree. And so if it comes up with private number again, I'm gonna end up having to, like, answer all of my phone calls until I get the phone call. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I applied to Dollar Tree so I could help make money around here. For now, I'm hoping that I'm gonna make enough money that I can help out, and um, so I can help out, but also um uh help out with that one bill, and then also be able to advertise. Because if I can do that, I would be very happy. Because maybe I'd make some book sales, and because it kind of sounds like it's gonna be Walmart all over again, where it's like I live at the store, so you live at the store, and it's like I don't do Devil Wears Prada thing. No, you need me at midnight. That's on you. You know. But yeah. I plan to be asleep at midnight. That's not happening. Um, but literally, that's what she said. It's like I live at the store. She's got kids. She lives at the store. The store ain't that important. But something that I thought was really weird is she made it sound like we're closed on Sundays. If I get the job, that they're closed on Sundays. And I'm like, okay, first of all, there's nothing that says that on Google. Although I will go on there and uh, set everybody straight if I can, because literally her phone number came up as private number twice. She called me in November. She wanted to at least give me an interview in November, and um I put in my application like 2 months before the store opened, and she called me in November, and I didn't pick up because it's a private number. So this time I'm just gonna like answer every single phone call until I get a yay or nay whether I um, get the job or not. I am one of those people that is very friendly. And I didn't say that. I can I try to be as friendly as possible. And if I can, I know you can't always do that, but like if I can, I will go and tell the person exactly where the thing is. I'll walk them over there. Now, I was talking to one of the associates, Devin. That's a female person. Um, anyway, I was talking to her, and she said, you can't always walk them over there. And I'm like, okay, I understand. Stuff needs to get out on the shelf, and the thing is, though, that I'm one of those people that if we don't have any customers, I will look for something to do. But she was saying that she needs somebody in the mornings, and that's not ideal because that's my stream. But we can always do it afterwards when I get home. Um, so right now I'm in the. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so for hardback, Pirate's Daughter is 26, Misfortune is 26, Hard Times is 26, Esperanza's Party is 24, The Island is 25, Lessons in Love is 27. My children's book Coral is not available in hardback at this time. All of them are $20 for the paperback except for Coral, which is a lovely 6. Um, and Coral is $2.99 for the ebook. Pirate's Daughter is $3.05. Misfortune is $5. Hard Times is $5. Esperanza's Party is $3.05. The Island is $5, and the Lessons in Love is $5. That's probably. I don't know about the hardback right now. Because sometimes it's like, oh, you want it this price, you have to have it this price. Um, because I'll look at it and go, okay, so I'm gonna get $5 from each of the paperbacks. Well, like $5 and something cents. So I'm gonna get $5 from the paperbacks, but I think I get like $7.14 from the hardbacks, or was it $7.14 for the paperback? I don't know. I got $7.14 for the last book that got bought, so um, my books don't get bought very often, and it's probably my marketing technique. I'm not being very good at explaining what happens, and I know this. So, and I've got to advertise more often as, a as a book um uh I got to put it more often on there, and different days of the week too, because I was just thinking, okay, I could put it on Sundays like today. But but that one person that doesn't care about books at all or whatever may not watch that video. Um, may not watch that video just because it's talking about my books, and I don't want that to happen. So I do an advertisement in every single one of my videos where I'm telling you how much they cost and everything, but that's not really telling you about my book. So I need to like sit down and figure out what's the favorite chapter of every single book. The problem is that there's a big old section that needs to be explained for um there's a big old set of chapters that needs to be explained for Morgan's book, but I don't want to do that. I just want to segue right into she was working at the bar. The captain came over and bugged her, and not bugged her like with an electronic device. He was just being a jerk. Um, Actually, he was offering for her to go with him, and she's like, no, I don't go off with strangers. And um, I don't remember if that was the night that Joe walked her home, or if that was the night where she walked home alone. I can't remember. But the thing is that one night she does walk home alone, and that's when the captain makes his move, and he waits until she's in her yacht, settled down. It's a small yacht, if I remember correctly. It has like enough room for um I mean, there's got to be a bathroom in there somewhere, but when you dream about stuff, they don't always include the bathroom, so you know exactly where it is. So, it could be just, like the dresser might be the thing that is stopping you off from seeing the toilet. I don't know, but um and because I had a dream about this, and I wrote it down, and I'm like, I love that. It's awesome. Um, so anyway, she gets, she falls asleep and everything, and the lights are out, and he waits until the lights are out to go to his ship. Well, he gets his men. He goes and uh, goes to Morgan's yacht, and I want to say they kick in the door because she locked it. She's they're in New York City. Uh, you know, parked on. I mean, the ship's parked on the ocean part, so I don't know if there's actually a place where you park regular everyday boats instead of the big freighters or whatever. But yeah, I think they're still called freighters if they're a big old a big old ship that brings in cargo from other countries like Japan. I don't know, Japan, China, whatever, um, or wherever I should say. It might be a freighter that's coming from Australia with beef jerky and and Outback Steakhouse stuff. I don't know if they get their stuff from America and just call it Outback Steakhouse, or if they um or if they actually get it shipped from Australia so it's authentic. I have no idea. I've never even been to an Outback Steakhouse. I kind of want to go there just because I want to see what it's like, but I'm kind of thinking, What if they have kangaroo burgers and kangaroo meat? I wouldn't be too happy about that. I don't know. They could be, it could be that they taste like chicken. It could be that they taste like hamburger. I don't know. But, if that's what they're making them out of, that would be bad. The steaks, I mean. I know there's probably not just steaks at Outback Steakhouse, but we're probably going to never go there because my husband doesn't like steak. I know it seems so weird, a husband that does not like steak, but he doesn't. I do. I really liked the teriyaki steak that was at Hungry Hunter restaurant in Fairfield, California. Only had it once. It was stupid. Okay, I have never been to that kind of sit down restaurant where you have to tell them how you want your meat and stuff. And my parents are looking at me like, "Oh, you were being so stupid. Just tell them." And it's like, I don't know what the options are. So, somebody finally explained. And I'm like, oh, well done. So we've noticed that our in and out, if you don't say that, we say extra well done actually. Um, you can tell them that you want your burger well done or extra well done, and they have found out that we will take it back and say, what the heck. Um, we never threaten to get anybody fired because we know what that feels like. Um, we will never get that salty, but we have taken it back, and there's pink in the middle of the burger, or I think one time it was the side of the burger. It was so weird. But anyway, I took it back. I'm like, okay, I asked for this extra well done. Um, there was several times when I just asked for it with just ketchup because the mustard king or queen was the one putting the condiments on, and I'm not a big mustard person. I'll eat it. I like it when it's mixed in with the ketchup. You know, it tastes just fine when it's mixed in with ketchup. But the way that this person was doing it, because I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. Um, but usually you're one or the other. Usually. But anyway, uh, this person kept putting mega mustard on it. When I say ketchup and mustard, and I think it was because they were getting a little salty that they couldn't just go and put um the normal sauce on it. And it's like um or like my husband, that's their condiment, they like mustard. Um I'm more of a ketchup person, so like I said, if it's mixed in, it's just fine. I'm perfectly good with that. Um but like I wasn't the kid that you go to McDonald's and the parent has to ask for ketchup only. I think my daughter, on the other hand, I had to go and ask for ketchup only. It was hard getting her to eat at that time, so she just wanted to play. So, like most kids. But it was hard getting her to eat. So So the thing was though that once a week we'd get together with my mama and we'd go and um we'd go out and get something at Walmart. I don't know what we were getting. I can't remember. But we'd eat at McDonald's because they were together. So so my brain decides sometimes that it needs to call Walmart McDonald's and McDonald's Walmart. I can't even. Well, last I checked, it could be different now, but last I checked, I can't even eat at McDonald's. I don't know what happened, but one time, um, our church was on Edmonds. I don't know if it's Way Street, Lane Avenue, whatever, but anyway, it was on Edmonds, and so uh, the closest McDonald's is the South Carson one, and back then we had three of them. We had one inside. Uh, no, we must have four of them. Wait a minute. Okay, so we had one at Walmart. We had one over by J.C. Penney's in Burlington. Yeah, it was Burlington Coat Factory then. Um, it isn't now. They've moved down by Target. But anyway, um, but anyway, and then we had the one at the other Walmart because we got two Walmarts in town. And then we had the one in Winnie Lane. Um, Now we've just got the one in Winnie Lane and the one in South Carson. Both Walmarts have decided, nope, don't want to deal with that anymore. It's really dumb because I don't I don't know why they had the falling out, but like during Christmas time at the very least, both of them were making tons of money, I'm sure. And there was a lot of times when um the associates would have their lunch at McDonald's. So, for those people who can have McDonald's, it was great. But that one time, okay, so we're having a church, an after church get together thing, and everybody that was at um, everybody that was at that church function had some kind of tummy trouble afterwards. Oh yeah, that's the only McDonald's with a play place in town. Um, the other one doesn't have a play place. I just remembered that. Ugh. Anyway, so I think I said this already, but yeah, I probably did at the beginning of the video. But I was a little upset because I pre-recorded everything, thinking that they were going to turn the electricity off sometime between 7 and 4. And my husband would always stay until 7 o'clock, a little bit after, like say 7:05. And they didn't turn off the lights, so he's like, okay, I'm going to go work now. So, okay. Because, I was going to have to tag along with him, maybe. I was going to have to tag along with him if they turn the electricity off. Well, that's good for me, but it didn't really work for the kitty cats. But anyway, it turns out that they were only going to do that for 11 units, and the HOA was, um, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. They were a little bit lazy, and they sent it out to every single unit, but they only needed to send it out to 11 of them. Yeah. So anyway, over there, um, I think it was like day before yesterday. Yeah, I think it was Friday. So day before yesterday. And I'm like, I wish I would have known that sooner. And then I explained that, I stream, I play video games. I stream them. I mean, post them on YouTube afterwards. I stream them with Twitch and then I post them to YouTube afterwards. And, it's a good it's a really good thing because, I'm getting more viewers. I'm getting viewers on videos that I didn't think I was going to get views on at all whatsoever. Um, like these videos where I'm literally fixing something that I already built and that's because it doesn't work. But yeah, I'm like so glad. And some of my videos that I made. I mean, I know that I made the America Sings video. I mean, my dad made the America Sings video, but the one underneath that is It's a Small World from 2000. That's something I made. So I'm like so happy because something I did is being seen a lot. And then one of the golf videos, golf with your friends, that was up there too. And I was like, oh, wow. This is so cool. Uh, oh, and just in case any of you would like to play Wheel of Fortune with me, I don't know how we would get together and all that, but um, Wheel of Fortune is actually on Game Pass now. So I thought that was so cool. Um, Actually, we've played with people before. Me and my sister, we've played with people before. So, um, it's like probably as long as you're on um, Xbox, we can do an online game. So, um, but yeah, like if you want to play Wheel of Fortune with me and you don't actually own the game, you can now play it as long as you've got Game Pass. Um, but like I said, I am on, or like I have said, um, I'm on Xbox Series X. So, I'm probably hungry. There's no way I'm tired. Well, there might be a way I'm tired, but see what I did on Friday is we went to the Dollar Tree and got me a Pepsi, but it's one of those taller cans, like the 16 ounce or whatever it is. It's a lot more soda than I really need, but I drank it on purpose yesterday because I wanted to do a page of my story after having helped my sister. Um, so what we did was we put her account on my Xbox, and so I'm able to, um, I'm able to play her file while um, while she's moving to South Dakota. Which is gonna be crazy because they're gonna be they're gonna be 2 hours. Um, 2 hours time difference, and so like it's gonna be 6 here. It's already gonna be 8 there. So it's gonna be hard to get together. I mean, we've done it before. We'll figure it out, but it's gonna be hard. And I don't necessarily want that, but that's what they're gonna do. So, um, part part of the thing is that his brother works there, but my brother-in-law, his brother works at the place that my um um there's a jail or a prison, whatever you call it, um in the town that they're moving to, and um brother-in-law's brother works there, and apparently brother-in-law got a job there too, and that's good. It really is, because he'll have something that doesn't hurt his back so much, hopefully, because he used to work on airplanes. And, if that's anything like fixing cars, I can see how that would be hard on your back. Speaking of that, this poor guy, they just got it was a little white truck, littler than ours. Um, but he just got it, and the um, he said the idle sounded funny. Sounded like it was off. So, um, they were stopped in the parking lot. I don't want to say in the Walmart parking lot because technically it wasn't. But there's a little parking lot that is attached to the Walmart parking lot that's for the other stores in the parking lot. Because there's like a Subway and a Rent-A-Center and some other things. I think one of them's still a sporting goods store. Um, but he was off in that little annex kind of a parking lot, that leads to Subway and all that. So anyway, when we were driving in, trying to figure out where to park, I saw a really good parking spot, but of course, it's some beach somewhere because the guy got there first. But we weren't waiting. Uh, the song says that he'd been waiting for a little bit um to get that parking spot, and then somebody else just stole it right out from under them. Of course, one of the lyrics is that he had to go to the dentist, and they needed to drill, and they didn't wait for the medicine to kick in. So what else can we? Okay. So I told you about. Oh wait, Pirate's daughter. Like I said, um, she's tending bar at her uncle's bar, but it's one of those honorary uncles. Like how it's your uh, how it's your dad's best friend, and you call him Uncle John or whatever their name is, and you call their wife, you know Aunt Linda or whatever. Those are the first two names that popped into my head. Um, but anyway, you call them aunt and uncle just because you've known them that long. So it's one of those things. And her future husband is actually the real nephew of that same guy. His name is Lance. Anyway, so she's tending bar with a partner. So it's kind of like on cocktail. There's two people serving drinks. Or well, or on Coyote Ugly. I'm sure a lot of people have seen Coyote Ugly also. There was, you know, two people, Violet and the other girl, the girl with the attitude. Because I can't remember her name. But I do seem to remember that she is the same actress who plays Erin Reagan on Blue Bloods. And I thought that was so weird when I figured it out. I don't even know why I was looking it up. It might have been I was watching Erin going, I've seen her before. And then find out that she was on Coyote Ugly. And I'm like, wow. You know, it could be that. I have no idea. Okay, so yeah, so I'm like taking out all these trees. Not all of the trees. Not every single one, just the ones that are in the way. I know it sounds so weird. Um, I like the idea of fictional Ireland being able to breathe with the trees and all that. And there's still plenty of trees there. Oh, which reminds me. Okay, so like I said, I haven't been watching my YouTube videos the last few days, but one of the ones I did watch, I don't know, it was either earlier this week or last week. Um, Fresh Baked was saying that somebody took out a tree on Main Street and replaced it with something else. And I'm like, okay, those trees are there. Like you're not just paying for your ticket to visit Disneyland. You are also paying to get the best breathing area California can offer you, I would think, because it's got all those trees, because trees make oxygen, and I don't know how it does it, but I mean how they do it, but they say trees make oxygen. So you're also paying for that. And you don't have to pay like some places like the carnival. You got to pay, your $5, $10, $20, $30, $50, whatever, to get in. And then on top of that, you gotta either buy a wristband, which is gonna be another $50 or whatever. Hopefully it's less than that, um, but yeah, I think my sister said that the last carnival she went to was gonna be really expensive, so they just walked away. Um, but it's kind of driving me nuts because like she'll go and say, "Oh, we're so poor, we can't afford food," but then they go and do karaoke at the bar and buy drinks. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, but we're over here saying that we're so poor, but about once a week we go out to dinner, or on Friday he brought Dairy Queen home for lunch. And I'm like, I really meant it to be for dinner. Um, and I like going there. It's not necessarily fun to sit in that. Uh, you know, he likes the tall. He likes the tall stools that they have there. So we usually sit there, but then I have a tough time getting back down if I need a refill of soda, or if, oh my goodness, I had to go to the bathroom. I have a tough time getting back down because I'm only 5'1.5", as far as I know. Um, you know, I just realized the emergency room has um looked at how much I weigh, but they have not measured me and told me how much how tall I am. I just realized that. Um, yeah, we've had enough emergencies that, I remember. Because, like, I had um, might be a little bit of TMI, but, I had a bladder infection, from not drinking enough water. So, there you go. Big tip on that one. Drink water. Okay, so this is a pot calling the kettle black because, I know I don't drink enough water and I need to. I very much need to. But I very much suggest you drink enough water. Um, Enough water for me seems to be 4 or 5 bottles of the Kirkland water, but I don't know what it might be for you. Because they used to say 8 glasses a day. EIGHT. 8. Um, and I think they figured out that that's not enough, so now they're saying 11. It's like, do you know how much you would be in the upstairs room if you drink 11 glasses? But also something else that would help is if I stopped drinking sodas, or at least dark ones. But sometimes You want a cherry Pepsi. You want a cherry Coke. You know? I liked the orange Cokes too, though. Um, and I don't, okay, like, I do not want the Coca Cola Company at all thinking that I actually approve of their prices because it used to be that you could get that 12 pack of soda for um 2.50 or $3, something like that. It was right around $3. Um that was a normal everyday price. That was not on sale or anything like that. And I thought that was pretty good. But that was also when you could get that big old cube of Pepsi for the 36 cans cube. I think it was 36 anyway. Might have been 48, but I think it was 36. Anyway, you get that for $5. But that was over 20 years ago when my daughter was uh 3. So, oh, and talking about soda is making me uh remember that. Okay, so if you have a 20 ounce of whatever your favorite soda is, I don't know if it works for all of them, but I know it works for Coke and Sprite. If you have a 20-ounce bottle, drink some of it. You know, like, um, you don't have to drink that much of it, but, like, take, um, like, if you want to, down to the top of the label. Or, yeah, down to the top of the label is actually probably a good idea. Anyway, and then you go and seal it back up with the cap and everything, and you put it in the freezer. And um, you leave it in there so it at least starts to freeze. If you want a major popsicle, but you don't mind not being able to get the popsicle part of it right away, maybe leave it in there longer. But I don't have an actual time frame for how long it takes for it to freeze, but it tastes so good when you bring it back out again. I actually think I like the frozen Sprite better. Which I don't know if all McDonald's has this, and I don't know if they still have it here. But they had uh, it was the Slurpee thing. Um, and it was lemonade and Sprite. So it was a Sprite lemonade, and it tasted so good. Like I'm over here, I want frozen Coke because that's my flavor. I like Sprite also. And if they could figure out how to make a frozen cherry Coke, that would be even better. But but the frozen Coke machine doesn't work 95% of the time in any of the stores that the frozen Coke machine is in. I mean restaurants. And it's not just McDonald's. It's it doesn't work at Burger King most of the time, and there's at least two different McDonald's that it doesn't like to work. So anyway, so after this, I've got. I'm sorry, I'm yawning so much. After this, I've got to eat something for one, and help my sister out on her Dreamlight Valley. The reason why we did that is because she's moving, but also she's getting really frustrated because she's got like over 10 characters that she needs to level up, and she doesn't have Pluto, and she really wanted Pluto. And I can't remember how to get Pluto right now, but hopefully something will get triggered, so she can get Pluto. Because he wasn't a get him on a DLC thing. He was, you had to do a certain quest. They just gave you a quest out of the blue. She's got the bone that she needs for him, but I don't know what to do with it after that. I think it was one of those things where you like click on the bone and it turned into something else. Or I don't know. Anyway, I made a video of it. I was gonna say, or because something you were holding turned into the dog collar, and then the dog collar, you talk to. I think you talk to Mickey Mouse, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, it's Pluto's, and then that's when Pluto comes. Something like that. It was a really short thing. It was, it was a short thing. It was good, and you probably had to have certain characters unlocked to get there. We just got her Pocahontas and Cheshire Cat to 10 yesterday. And I'm like, oh my goodness, because she doesn't play as diligently as I do. I've got a new quest, and I've got I've got new quests and new characters. So then, new characters with new quests. So I've got to do all of those right away, and I've got to get every single character up to level 10. So, because there's been times in the past, because I've been playing since day one, literally. But there's been times in the past when, um, it was, excuse me, there's been times in the past where it was like, you can't progress because you haven't finished this Vanellope quest or Minnie Mouse quest or whatever it was. And I'm like, oh man. So then you got to get that one done. And I was trying to do like one lady quest and then one tramp quest, and it was working for the first quest, but then like for the second and third one I had to do like lady and then tramp or something like that. And I was upset because I was trying to do I was trying to get them upgraded both equally, and it didn't work. Or like there was a pair of characters, they like came in at the same time, and I was trying to do that same thing where I was leveling them up evenly, and then it turned out, or at least that was my plan, and then it turned out you had to do the one person like all the way through before you could do the other one. It's probably joy and sadness. I felt bad yesterday because Joy asked me, "Can you help me with something?" I'm like, "No." She asked me that at least twice, and then there's other characters that were saying, "I need to talk to you," like Tiana, and I'm like, "No," because I was trying to get Pocahontas leveled up to 10, and I don't know that my sister has Miko yet. That's gonna be interesting doing that one again, but at least this time I kind of know what I'm expecting. I went into it cold turkey when I did it, and I was like, why did people even start saying cold turkey like that? Because, because in this case, cold turkey means that you went in there not knowing what to expect. And I didn't watch anybody's videos, and because I'm behind on videos again. Well, okay, no, I am behind on videos still, and it just happens that some of the videos I need to watch are the ones that probably would have told me exactly what to do. But yeah. So anyway, I've got Miko and she doesn't, and so I'm thinking that would make her happy. Um, she doesn't have Max either, and I'm upset about that. I'm like, okay, so like, I'm like, if I can get this job, maybe I could help her get Max next time he comes in the premium shop. 'Cause he is very, very useful. Oh, oh my goodness. I helped my sister with her star path. That was another thing. I helped my sister with her star path, and one of the things, it was the last thing that I needed to do. Um, it was a routine duty where um where I needed to pick up stuff given by my companion. Because like your companion's supposed to be able to, say you got the um squirrels equipped. You go and harvest something. They're supposed to. No, wait. No, no. Let's use the flowers as an example because that's what actually happened. Okay, so I had two birds equipped. I didn't realize that there was a setting in the gameplay menu that was turned to off. So it didn't show the little icons above the flowers, that the companions could pick it up. So I felt so dumb when that happened. I finally was like, well, maybe that's a setting too. Cause for some reason, putting her file on, putting her profile on my Xbox, um, changed the settings because she says that she uses the hold down X to fish all the time. So, she had a lot easier time of getting the 100 fishing spots. Fishing 100 times without failing. She did that. Um, she was able to do that a lot easier than I did. I actually had to go and try to fish without failing. I feel like holding down the X is like, for that specific achievement, it just kind of feels like cheating, but in a good way. Not bad cheating. because there was a bunch of us that started in September of 2022, or at least between September and December, um, that were like struggling with that one. And I was very happy for my sister yesterday because she got the plant 4,500 vegetables without having the problems that I had. Um, that was a major issue, and I didn't know if it was a Microsoft or if it was a Game Loft, and I never did find out, who was having the issue. Was it, was it Game Loft? Was it Microsoft? Um, was it my Xbox specifically? I don't know, but everybody else that has played that game after that point has not had that problem, as far as I know. And that's really awesome. Gameloft was really sweet because they not only gave me the points for the 4,500 vegetables, but they also gave me um, they also gave me the achievement that I'd gotten 30 houses, and at the time I had like 20 or something like that, but I was still very, very grateful. And, we've so surpassed that by now, so, I don't feel like a guilty cheater. Uh, the one thing, though, is that I think it's very interesting, because I've got Storybook Vale, and I don't understand why they don't do Eternity Isle also. But because I've got Storybook Vale, um, it's letting my sister play that. Well, if she was in my living room, she'd be able to play that DLC. But she hasn't bought it yet, so hopefully I will get that job and I'll be able to buy her the DLC, and then I won't get her in trouble. Because yesterday, I don't know if it normally does that for my sister, but Cheshire Cat was definitely asking for a food that is only in the DLCs, and I don't think that's okay. Um, as somebody who usually tries to give the person all three things that, all three favorite gifts, it's not okay if you don't have that DLC for them to be asking for that. They should still only be asking for stuff that's in the valley. I mean, I know you can't tell exactly who's got it and who doesn't, but there's got to be a quote paper trail somewhere, I think. Anyway, so today I'm gonna do one of the Vanellope quests for her, and um, I'm trying not to since I can play Storybook Vale and she can't. Well, we think she can't anyway. I don't know. She's gonna have to get to South Dakota in a week. Apparently, they're not going straight there. They're gonna um, stay in Sacramento for a little while and hang out with their son, because it's okay. So brother-in-law is divorced from his first wife. Well, I'm gonna say it's the first wife. I don't have any evidence to say what number wife she is actually. But anyway, divorced from his first wife, and they have a son together. So anyway, they're gonna go hang out with him, um, for a week, I guess, and then they're gonna go. So I thought he was supposed to be like starting, like right when he got there, the new job. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know how everything's going to turn out, but I hope it turns out great. Um, I know that our brother is going to be upset that she can't go see him. And like I would like her to be able to see her dad before she leaves. Just um, he gets cranky sometimes, so sometimes he's not so fun to be around, but he can be a nice, decent person. Um, so anyway, I hope that she can squeeze in seeing both of them somehow. Um, Apparently her dad's still in San Francisco recovering. I forgot he was in the military, so when she said that he was getting heart surgery, I wasn't thinking that they were going to be in San Francisco. There's a VA hospital. Uh, I don't know what the A is, but I know that the V is veterans. But anyway, there's um, so people that have been in the military can go there and get their heart surgery and some other things. I'm sure it's just uh, like a regular hospital, where you can go in there if you got a cold or something. I have no idea, because usually when they're talking about a VA hospital, you got like a major problem, like heart surgery. But I'm guessing that veterans can go in there and get you know looked at for a cold too. I never thought about it before. That might be a thing that I need to know about uh because Tiffany Crenshaw's dad is in the military. Um, we don't know what he does, but he's in the military, and at one point Sam does something with Tiffany that her dad ain't gonna like. Her dad is not gonna like it at all whatsoever, and Sam is jumping to the conclusion that he's going to be angry about it, and that's going to result, I mean, that could result in um a bayonet to his stomach or something. um and Tiffany's dad knows martial arts. um I don't think I've ever put that uh Sam Crenshaw learned martial arts, but it would make sense because, like, what if he's over on a sleepover and the next day is martial arts class at the mansion? Um, oh yeah, that's another thing. Okay, so I would like a bigger house at the moment. But until we can get that bigger house, I want to hang on to this one. But mostly I want a bigger house because like it can have bookshelves and it can have a room for the cats to run around in, and maybe it would have two bathrooms. I personally think that the number of bathrooms that you need in a house is relative to, connected to the number of people in the house, because if the one person is in the bathroom and it's going to be an extended stay kind of thing, and then the other person has to go to the bathroom too, it's very, very bad. Especially if they need to go in there for the same reason, you know? So, um, and, like, what if we had guests? We don't usually, but we don't usually have guests, but it would be nice to be able to, have enough bathrooms for the, for both of us, and then another one for guests. Um, I don't know how we would do that. Seriously. I just don't know. Yeah, I was just thinking that the one for guests could have one of the litter boxes in it, and it would be have one of the litter boxes in it, and the door have a kitty door, complete with kitty door flap and everything. It'd have to be Sam sized instead of it'd have to be Sam size instead of like Bobby size. I don't know. I kind of want to say that um not by weight, but by uh the shape of their body, that Bobby and Ben are approximately the same size. But Bobby is probably 11 pounds, but I think Sam's 13 pounds. So 1 pound for every year of his life. I'm a little bit worried because, he's never had any health issues. If it gets too hot in the house or he overeats, he erupts, but that's about it. So, he's never had any health problems, although he started sneezing like his sister. So, if I get this job, as soon as I can, I'm making him an appointment so we can just get him checked out. Um, Although he's not sneezing like he was last time. It's just, sometimes he sneezes. It's not, he actually had some yucky sneezes. And of course, who's he want to sneeze on? Mama. I don't know why they love sneezing on me, but. Or like, yesterday, I think it was, um, Sam either sneezed or coughed on me, but either way, it wasn't a good thing. So, anyway, um, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna, have food, and after this, I'm gonna have food, and then I'm gonna work on that and try to work on my story at the same time. It's easier when you don't. Like I feel like I need to be entertaining the whole time that I'm uh the whole time that I'm streaming, and uh, I'm hoping that this gets that this gets done in time. Because, like I said, right now I'm trying to get my sister up to par with me. If I can, I'm gonna do something very special for her. I'm trying to I'm trying to level up her house in Dreamlight Valley, and I'm gonna do something very special for her on the third floor because she's already got stuff on the first and second floor. Uh, but I'm gonna try to do something very special for her on the third floor, and um, I was trying to do something yesterday and I could not find what I was looking for. Anyway, I'm gonna try to do something very special for her. Um, Having to do with the storage because she has she has storage, but she's not realizing that having it outside like that is um having it outside like that is counting against her um the amount of stuff that she has in the game. So like if she wanted to decorate, she's like me. She doesn't have hardly anything out. But part of that is because she hasn't bought that much stuff. Because she'll be like, oh my gosh, that dress is $50,000. Oh, heck no. But I'm over there going, I just harvested a bunch of pumpkins. So let's go there. So I'm trying to, harvest pumpkins and um, make enough money to upgrade the house to its fullest extent. And and on the third floor, maybe the 20th floor if I get it up that high. Um, but anyway, I will go and do that. She asked me to work on that Olaf museum thing too. The grand exhibition. And I'm like, okay. Because I already did it, so I pretty much know what to do. She needs the rabbit that is like only there on Thursdays. It's the calico rabbit. Yeah, I believe it's only there on Thursdays. And so, we're gonna have to work on that on Thursdays, and hopefully we'll get it. That's how I helped her get the White Raven yesterday. I fed it and then it was like, hey, you want to equip this? And I'm like, sure. I'm like, of course I do. So we were trying to keep the tree out from the fireworks show here, and it's not working. So anyway, so this ended up being FIX10. So any of the ones that say fix on them, I am, ready to go. I just gotta, fix a few things because, like say this section right here just, lights up by itself. And we have no idea why it's doing it. There's no reason. Hopefully I'll be able to show you. I really don't want to have that situation though. Because if I find that again, I'm probably going to scream. Or at least make that noise. But it's probably going to be louder than what I just did. Um, yeah. So anyway, I am helping my sister and um at first it didn't want to log me on and it turned out that we didn't have the full password. So that ended up being okay. Wait a little bit. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, and then put that in, and it was fine. And I played it literally all day yesterday. Um, my husband likes me to, like take a day off when he's home, because then he can he can play his game, and he doesn't have to worry about being quiet because I'm streaming. Um, the only problem is that sometimes he's like so loud and they don't even notice, but he's so loud that I'm like, I can't concentrate on my story. So I want to finish the chapter and then get on the Xbox. The first thing I need to do is something with Vanellope, and if I get to that point today, I doubt it because, like I said, there's over 10 people that we need to do some quest for. But if I get that far, then I'll do Storybook Veil for her. And if she can play it, because, she's logged in over here too, then that would be really cool. Um, she'll be able to have Flynn and Aurora and Maleficent, Hades, Merida. She'll have, what did I just say? Flynn, Aurora, Merida, Hades, and Maleficent. So yeah, she'd have 5 more characters to play with. What I want to do, she doesn't want me to get her the DLC. I mean, she doesn't want the DLCs right now because she's like still working on um, the main valley. But, it's like, what do you do after that? Are you gonna just like quit playing the game momentarily? I was I did her dream snap yesterday, and I hope I did it justice. I think I did a little bit better job than I did on mine. Dang it! Ugh. I mean, I worked with what I could. I got a little upset because I gotta quit doing that. Anyway, I got a little bit upset because she didn't have any bookshelves and things. But, it'll be okay. Like, it'll be great when it's done. What was it, this one? Yes, it was. And it was cyan. Okay. Oops, that's not what I meant. No, that's not what I meant in the least. Okay. So anyway, except for that, I have to refill the grand finale, because like, just in case I I did do it. I just had some problems where things weren't connected up all the way, and I had a problem where things weren't connected up all the way. There was things that were just lit up for no good reason. It wasn't even touching the redstone at all, and it wasn't touching the dispenser, so it was like, what the heck? Um, I just did not understand why. Oh, okay. Um, anyway, I did not understand why it was doing it, and I'm like, I am never gonna get this right. I'm hoping I do, but so far it just seems like I'm never going to get this right. Now, if there's some that happen to be, all lit up when we get back to them, um, I'm going to be upset, but I'm just going to let it go and call it the end. And then why was I sitting here and all of a sudden, let it go, let it go, popped into my head. Oh, I found out something about that song actually, and it kind of upset me because apparently Demi Lovato sings that song too. I think it was Demi Lovato. Um, and I was a little bit upset about it because she's singing different words than Elsa sang. Oh, that was something that I was watching on. I don't know. I like watching those little Emily Blunt shorts, and on YouTube. And like I said, I don't, unless she's the one that was on uh not Jurassic Park, unless she's the one that's on Jungle Cruise, I have never seen her in anything. So, I don't know. I want to say yes, but I really don't know. And anyway, so I've been watching those shorts lately. And and one of the videos that I just watched today was how sometimes um you know you're wearing your dress and you accidentally um it's not actually flowing down around your knees like a dress probably should. You accidentally tucked it into your um underclothing, and so you're like walking around and you don't even notice. Well, it was that kind of embarrassing situation, but it was like the coattail of his suit. And um and Emily Blunt had watched her husband do this play a couple of times. Like, she went to the premiere or whatever it was, and and some and something else. Anyway, it was like two different times that she watched it before that part. And I did not understand the part at the end because he like looks out to an audience member and it's not his wife that he's uh looking at. He's looking at somebody else, and I was like, well, why would he be looking at somebody else? Why wouldn't he be really looking at his wife? Well, maybe he didn't know she was there, but um anyway, his I don't want to say coworker, but the the guy that was doing the scene with him, um he ad libbed. Ooh, I was trying to think of that the other day and could not think of it for nothing. Anyway, so the guy ad libbed that he walked over behind Emily's husband and uh you know yanked his outfit from where it was, and then it's a coattail again instead of in the pants thing. And apparently he looked out to one of the audience members and was like, so embarrassed. And I don't understand why that would be, but anyway. Like I said, maybe he didn't know his wife was out there or something, or maybe the audience member that he was looking out at was the fellow play person's wife. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I really didn't understand the end of that. But that's fresh in my mind because I just watched that this morning. I haven't been able to talk lately. Like, my brain and my mouth do not want to coincide. I mean, they don't want to cooperate. That's what I meant, cooperate. Um, how do you explain cooperate? Well, okay, like a person in a three-legged, I mean, a set of people in a three-legged race. If one's trying to go left and one's trying to go right, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. You might get hurt. Scrape a knee or something like that. It's not gonna be good. But if you cooperate, you can walk like you're a Siamese person. Uh, you know, the ones that are joined together. Um, I I don't think Siamese was exactly what I meant. Uh, the twins that are like connected by something, like maybe connected by a arm or those one twins, they were literally joined at the head. Um, I don't know if that is for real or not, but there was a video on YouTube saying that they actually were able to separate them. Although I have not seen or heard anything about them making an artificial brain. I kind of think the brain is, uh, you know, there's always that debate, is the heart more important or is the brain more important? Well, the brain is the thing telling the heart what to do. And you can have a heart transplant, I was going to say all day long. That doesn't make any sense. Never mind. But anyway, you can have a heart transplant and still be alive, but you cannot have a brain transplant, as far as I know. And if you did, you so might sound like a bad AI voice. So, the ones that sounds like computer voices from the 90s. Like, I'm sorry, Dave. That kind of thing. I think I got that line from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I I don't know if it's I'm sorry though. Something like that though. Anyway, anyway, the computer was talking to Dave because Dave was in on this thing. He's played by the actor who plays Jesse on the first Fast and Furious movie. Um. Anyway, and he plays this guy that has on Fast and Furious plays this guy who has ADHD. So he's like, um, Brian question mark? Yeah, I think Brian was talking to him, and he's not really listening. He, he's like, he just explained that the guy has a lame duck car, and um, he just explained that the guy racing him has a lame duck car, and he's not worried that he's gonna lose the car, because what he did was he you know they used to call it racing for pinks. So the pink slip for the car. I wonder if a pink slip is even pink. But anyway, the pink slip for the car is what he put up for the race, instead of money. And it's not good because he does not win. And then that that ADHD ADHD kicks in, and he tries to run away instead of giving up the car, because it's actually his dad's car, and his dad's in prison, and when they get out, he wants to have his car and his dad have his car. And Jesse wants to have Jesse's car, and Jesse's dad have Jesse's dad's car, and they'll drive around together. But it doesn't work out that way, and you never see Jesse's dad, because of course he's in prison at that moment, and then something happens to Jesse, so he's not in the rest of the series. That would be really weird if they somehow, assuming the actor's still alive, it'd be really weird if they brought him back as a character. Maybe Jesse's got a twin brother or something, or or he or he got shot, but because people in movies, they get shot, but they've got a bulletproof vest, so they're fine. Or like on Lethal Weapon 3, I think. The one where oh, what is his name? I can't think of his first name. But anyway, they call him Briggs, and then his partner's Murtaugh. But I can't remember. Oh, Murtaugh is Roger. But I can't remember what Briggs's first name is. I want to say it's Bo or something like that, but that was um Smoking the Bandit. Oh, hey, it's 11:03. So we are going to finish this. Oh, maybe we're not going to finish this straight on stream. We got it all the way down to here, but we haven't even finished over there yet. So, I mean, if we did, if we do finish the street, then it is only going to take us till noon. But like I said, I do have, I want to finish that chapter, and I want to finish that chapter, and then I need to help my sister. So if I can finish that chapter quickly, then it'd be good. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. But right now I'm really wanting to help out my sister because she's getting frustrated, and it's one of my favorite games. It's one of her favorite games, but she is getting frustrated. She doesn't have a whole lot of patience, but um even she said that. And like yesterday, she's like, "You got a lot of patience," because I got Pocahontas all the way up to 10, and two of her companions, and Cheshire Cat. So yeah, um, it, I just the thing that I was doing though was I was just doing what I told her to do, which is harvest. Harvest, harvest, harvest. Um, you've got that villager following you. Um, that's not what they call them. Well, they call them characters in the menu. But you got, say, Mickey Mouse following you, and you need to get him up to level 10. You go and harvest every single one of those trees. You go and plant. I don't know if you can plant a million pumpkins, but you plant a ton of pumpkins, and 4 hours later you harvest them, unless you are lucky enough to be able to make a potion. That was something that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get this, and I didn't want my sister to be disappointed with me, so I was like, okay, how am I gonna do this? Anyway, I finally got the rich soil that I needed because of the pumpkins. So you get rich soil by harvesting the um the crops that you plant, and it ended up being really awesome in the end on that one. Yeah, so I just want to finish the street here today sometime. I can always come back and finish it later, but I don't want to do that. Anyway, I think my sister's gonna be like really, really happy with me. 'Cause I plan on doing the next Penelope quest, and then probably the one after that, um, and then maybe I'll do Pocahontas, and I don't know. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of people that keep walking up to her character and going, "Can you talk to me?" Or "Can we talk?" Uh, or it's Remy trying to get me to do the daily quest thing. Um, so, um, I said about my books earlier because I was talking about them. Um, yeah, I said about my books earlier. Okay. Well, okay. So, in case you didn't hear, like maybe you just gone on or something, or you skipped toward the end because, this was a very long video. I mean, I'm hoping everyone doesn't do that, even if they're, I think it counts as a valid public watch hour, um, even if you, um, watch silently. I have no idea. Um, 'Cause like maybe you only want to see uh, maybe you're at work and you needed to be silent, or you didn't, or you don't need all this chit chat. You just, yeah. I mean, I think it's a little more entertaining with, somebody talking, but okay. Dang. I mean, you don't have to watch it that way. Um, yeah, like I said, I kind of have, okay, Christopher Lloyd as Professor Plum said, pressure of speech. And I thought that was really cool that he played Professor Plum because, he was Doc Brown and Judge Doom on, his Doc Brown on the Back to the Future movies, his Judge Doom on Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You know, he was a a guy on a movie called Camp Nowhere. The thing was that this guy didn't want to work at all. So he came up with this scheme that uh, there's like old abandoned camp in the woods, I think, and he came up with this scheme where he's gonna invite a bunch of people to, a whole bunch of kids, teenagers, to his camp, and like this parent thinks it's space camp, and this parent thinks it's foreign language camp or something like that. Um, yeah, I think one of the girls had convinced her parents that it was foreign language camp, so she was supposed to be learning French or German or something. I don't actually remember. Um, we have a copy of it, I think. I'm pretty sure we do. Just because it was one of the ones that I think it's one of the ones that we saw in the movie theater. I was trying to collect every single movie that we've ever seen in the movie theater. But then we started watching, well, there was a time when I wasn't rich enough to go buy whatever movie that we had in the theater. And I will not buy Way of the Gun. Ever. That movie, okay, so me and my husband, for some reason, thought that it was a new Jackie Chan movie. But, so we're sitting there, and we're watching this movie, and we're going, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's gotta get better. And it never got better. So the whole story is that there's these, I want to say, rich people, and they're kind of bad guys. Uh they want the lady because she's pregnant with a baby. Well, obviously she's pregnant with a baby, but I don't know why the baby was so important because they didn't do a very good job of explaining. But there's these bad guys, and they kidnap the lady and the baby, and they weren't very nice to her either. But they didn't explain why. It's like they were in the middle of the fight to begin with. Yeah, like you start the movie, they're in the middle of the fight, whatever it is, and it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyway, so we are sitting there the whole time going, "It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get." No. I mean, if you happen to have seen that movie and like it, that's okay. It's fine. But I just didn't think it made enough sense, and it wasn't good, and yeah. Um, but like one year we watched Top Gun Maverick in the theater. That was really cool because we got to watch that in the D-box seats. I like the D-box seats better because it reclines like a like a recliner chair that you would have at home. It reclines, and it and it had the footrest and everything. It was so cool. Because I get all squirmy when I'm in a regular chair. It's just like my back all of a sudden doesn't like sitting there, and like I can't adjust it if it's a regular chair. I can adjust it if it's the D-box chair. So, I mean the D-box seat. I don't know if it's a chair or what, but it's probably more like those couches where it's like regular seat on the one part, and then there's a footrest on either end of the couch. My in-laws have a couch like that, and it was really comfy to start out with, and then it was sat on too much now. So it's not, so it's not comfy like like I would like it to be. And they always, I don't know if they do this on purpose or what, but they always have it to where we either have to sit in that old office chair. It's not comfortable, especially for sitting for like 2 or 3 hours. Oh heck no. But there's that, or there's the she calls it a stool, but it's got a back to it, so it's not technically a stool, but whatever you call it. Um, it's brown, and you can sit in it, and it turns just as much as the office chair does, but I really shouldn't do that because I get seasick at the drop of a hat. Like, I will get, I call it seasick, not motion sickness. But it's not CEA sick, it's CEE sick. Especially since I got my glasses, because I was hoping that they would help my eyes focus better, and I would be able to read the small print on my computer, but I can't, but I can barely read it with my glasses. I can read it better without my glasses, which is odd. But yeah, I kept telling them, it's too fuzzy on the outsides, on the outside part, the where the glass meets the frame. It's actually fuzzy. It's not okay. And she's like, "Oh yeah, that's normal." It's like, I have never heard of any glasses wearer say that their glasses were fuzzy on the outside. I'm gonna ask my parents because they've been wearing glasses a lot longer than I have, and I'm gonna ask them that because the one around the corner tells me that's perfectly normal, and then I've never heard that before. I always thought it was like Harry Potter, where like the world is very, very, very fuzzy without his glasses, and then he puts on his glasses and everything comes into focus and it's all good. You know, I always thought it was like that. And I got a dumb question. Okay, so Harry Potter wears glasses. Why couldn't Madame Pomfrey have fixed? Yeah, Madame Pomfrey. Why couldn't she have used her magic healing powers on his eyes? Him and his dad. Because I assume, I know, never assume, but I assume that Madame Pomfrey was there when James was there too. I don't know though. Of course, I'm also thinking, okay, Harry is such an older name, why wouldn't she like name him? I mean, I wouldn't want her to name him James Jr., but why couldn't uh he be Jason or um Julian or something like that, I don't know. Harry Potter actually sounds perfect, but that's because I'm used to it. It sounds like the perfect name for him, but he doesn't act like a Harry. He acts like I don't know, a Julian or a Chase or, um, Mick. I don't know. Somebody that sounds exciting, you know? Um, but like I said, we're used to it. So Harry Potter sounds like the perfect name, but, you know, could she have named him something else and it be just as successful? It's like when it's Harry Potter, it sounds perfect, but then you're calling this guy Harry, you know, I don't know, it just doesn't sound right. But then she's got Harry and Ron. Ron's kind of an older name too. Um, but Hermione, that's probably like, Americans kind of think, Bertha or Eloise or something like that is an older name, but I think it would work. And so I'm thinking maybe Hermione might be that kind of a name in uh in like Britain, but I liked it so much that uh I named Cat's yeah, I think yeah, Cat's mom is named Hermione. I had to figure out how to spell it though, cause I didn't know how to spell it, um and I had to train my brain. Okay, it's her my1. That's not how I was thinking of it at the time though. I was thinking like how Victor Crumb was trying to learn how to say her name, and he said Hermie. He had the Hermie right, Hermione. But he said Hermie. He didn't say Hermione. But anyway, I kept thinking her for HER, and then MI, and then ONE, because I knew, I reminded myself it ends in an E. So anyway, I finally figured out, how to spell it, and it's perfect. Normally, I will not put a name in my book that I cannot spell, or a word um, that I cannot spell. So, like, if I was going to put anti-disestablishmentarianism or supercalifragilisticexpialidocious somehow, I'd really have to get permission from whoever owns Mary Poppins right now. I assume that's still Disney, but, what if I'm wrong? What if all of a sudden she's going to be, um, 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 public domain? I don't know. So, 'Cause, certain Winnie the Poohs are public domain now, as far as I know. Or they were talking about making them public domain at the time. But that was like last year. So I'm not entirely sure it ever happened or it didn't happen. I don't know. Anyways, I ended up saying I don't know a lot because I don't get out. I don't get out a lot, and I don't watch the news. Um, I either get scared or depressed when I watch the news. So I'm like, I'm done. No. Although we did watch it when we went down for my grandma's birthday in April, her birthday party. Uh, it turned out that some guy, uh, okay, like there was a family, and the dad was away from the house for some reason. They didn't explain properly. Um, it used to be that the that the person explaining what happened would say, I had only gone to the grocery store for 5 minutes or whatever, and this is what I found when I came back, and they'd actually have the person saying the thing. But in this case, they didn't. They just had the newscaster saying it, and you know they used to have the newscaster say it, and then like they'd go to a clip of, okay, this is what the guy said, and they just don't do that anymore. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, it turned out that the mom and the kid, I thought they said daughter, and then later it sounded like it was a son. So anyway, whatever. The mom and the kid were home, and I guess they had, locked themselves in somewhere. 'Cause like the guy had broken into the house, and mom and kid were safe wherever they were, but the guy's still, walking around the house, yelling for whoever he's looking for. And I don't know if he was mentally unstable or what, but anyway, the dad comes home and got a baseball bat or something like that, and he was ready to defend the house. But I think what they said was you know, he had the baseball bat, but he was um he talked to the guy um from doing anything that he wasn't supposed to be doing. And anyway, the cops were called, and they came, and oh, cuz the dad had called them before he even got home, cuz like the ring the ring camera doorbell thing, it had alerted him to the guy breaking into the house. So he goes and, calls the cops, says my ring doorbell thing just went off, and I don't know what's going on, but please meet me there. And so the guy got carted off, and but they didn't say anything about that. They just said that the police came, and they left it at that. And so if my brother hadn't been there, I might be worried that the guy was going to come to Nevada next. But my brother was like, "Oh yeah, he's with us." I'm like, oh, okay. So even though I'm a little bit worried um that he's working in a jail, I'm just a little bit worried that he's working in a jail. Somebody could get out of their jail cell and do bad things, you know. But you know, I don't usually think of it that way, but now that I have, I'm a little bit worried. But um, anyway, it was very comforting to know what happened next. Is not like The Outsiders um, where she said he got acquitted, but he, I mean, she did not explain whether he's going to, um, a foster home until he's 18, or, him and his brother. Uh, she didn't explain whether they're going to a foster home, or if, I don't think that this is okay, but, some organizations that go and put people in foster homes like that, they'll go and put, like, say, the older children in the one house in the one city, and then they'll go and put the smaller children in another house in another city. And they may never see their siblings ever again. And I don't think that's okay. They ought to have to put them all together, you know, even if there's 12 of them, you know. I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, see, this project's taken longer than I wanted it to. Um, but, like, it does say 8 to noon, but the only reason why it says 8 to noon is because it did not want to let me put individual times on there. It was, you're going to stream at this time on, uh, like this time on every single day, or else. And it's like, because I was trying to say, I had specific times, like, specific times for specific days. Um, Usually Disneyland Adventures is no longer than a half an hour, lately, because I'm trying to put it in as, individual parts, and it's working. People are actually watching it, and I'm glad of that. Thank you. Very grateful. Because before I was making really long videos, or sometimes making very long videos, sometimes making short videos, and I didn't know what exactly to do. Like, I was just trying to play all of it in one day. Never gonna happen because there's too much fun stuff to do. But like, I was trying to get it all done in one day, and some of the parts need um some of the parts need more time than others, because um because this is a jungle cruise, and the boat did not want to go left or did not want to go right at the time that you need it to. It just doesn't. And I don't know why. You gotta press the button at exactly the right time, and I hardly ever do. So, like, this would be a good time to have Fillmore Wondershare back. That's one of the things I want to get. If I get this job, I want to get Fillmore Wondershare back, even though it's $200 stinking dollars. Um, it's a really good program, though, and you have to um, re-up it every year. but it's well worth it. Um, the only thing that I would change is make it to where you can actually put a background track there, because you go and press the button to do it and it won't let you. Because what I would like to do is make a totally silent, um, I can make a totally silent Minecraft video, and then make a totally silent Minecraft video, and then have my story playing in that part. Or another thing I could do is I want to find AI video. I know it's horrible having AI, but people do that all the time. Um, Usually they'll go and take a picture, and this one picture is like totally um photoshopped, because it's not even Steve Harvey that's in the picture. It's supposed to be, it's supposed to be Family Feud, and the woman is, I think the one I'm thinking of is, the woman's pregnant, and her husband is going, "Do you know how stupid an answer that was?" And they they lost the, I think they lost the round, but like she came back stronger later, because all of a sudden she was getting salty at him being a jerk. Um, but yeah, the one time, you know, they said Steve Harvey got angry at the guy and kicked him off the stage. So then they only had 4 people. But it was because the guy was being a jerk. But I think those stories, and if Steve Harvey minds, I would really like to see him get them stopped. But if they're true, then that'd be awesome. Dang, that's gonna take forever. So anyway, yesterday I got done with my stream, and then um and then oh, and yeah, like I had gotten done with my stream, or I was doing this part of it. Something like that. Anyway, and I told my sister that there's a treasure hunt on Dreamlight Valley, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm getting frustrated with that game because I got so many characters to still um level up." And I'm like, "I can help you." Especially since she's moving, she's not gonna be able to play. And she's just, she gets into these moods where she stops playing the game because, she's got so many people to level up. And, you know, Dreamlight Valley is really one that I mean, if you don't have everybody leveled up, you should be playing every day. So you can level them up. And she's got, like a whole bunch of companions that she needs to level up. And actually, she's only got 4 right now out of the ones that she has, but she doesn't have all the companions. So, like, I think she's seeing all the stuff that I have and getting frustrated because she doesn't have that too. And yeah, so or she's at least seeing people's videos and they've got a whole bunch more stuff than she does. But we're gonna try to fix it while she's moving. They're gonna, stay in Sacramento for a week, and then they're gonna go because I know I said that earlier, but anyway, brother-in-law is um, divorced from his first wife, and they've got a son. And gamer tag Indy. Anyway, so they got a son, and of course, brother-in-law wants to hang out with him as much as he can. Um, Apparently for a week until I thought they lived somewhere else, but yeah, I thought they lived somewhere else. Maybe they moved. I don't know. Anyway, anyway. Um, and then they're gonna move to South Dakota. Wow. I would kind of like to see Mount Rushmore, but Mount Rushmore is one of those things. I'm more of a let's go to Disneyland to ride the rides instead of a museum visitor. Anyway, so we're gonna get done here. Hopefully, eventually. I did want to end it at 11, but you know, I just wanted to finish the street. And it's taking forever, and I realize that. And if it goes past noon, I will stop. Seriously, if it goes past noon, I'm just gonna stop. Um, I'll do it off camera. So, so it turns out that the one I think it's a mortgage company, is like dragging their heels, because the lady wants to help us, but the mortgage company is dragging their heels by not giving the numbers that they need to give, or some kind of numbers. Um, Anyway, they're dragging their heels, so we can't do anything until we get those numbers, kind of thing. And yeah, and then the lady had the interview with, she said that she called me in November, so I'm really worried that it's going to come up private number again. And I gotta find a nice way to tell her it's not coming up as Dollar Tree, it's coming up as private number. Because I didn't think to look at my phone until afterwards, because I didn't know that they'd called me in November. I would have been, employed already and not been able to go to the birthday party, I'm sure. Because the way she said it is like, I'm always here. So, like, she was talking like, I need to be always here. And I'm like, no. I love the Dollar Tree. Um, Maybe not love, but, I like the Dollar Tree. We haven't been, I was just thinking about that. We have not been to Dollar General to buy raspberry tea in quite a long time. I have not tried the blood orange or whatever it is, and I haven't tried several of the other flavors. One of them's like blue raspberry lemonade or something like that, and I'm like, um, I don't know if I like that, but I like raspberry tea. Actually, I love raspberry tea. So I was getting very frustrated for a while there because if we order if we ordered um, Chinese food to our house from Panda Express, they were bringing really nasty tea. I know we turned them in at least once. Cause I think they were bringing me the chai tea or chai doesn't sound right. Yeah, uh, like chai. Yeah, it's like chai acaberry or something like that. And I'm like, I don't like this. And you know why I don't like it? Because it tastes moldy. It just did not taste good. Um, my husband tasted it and he's like, yeah, that doesn't taste good. So we went and tried to go and complain to Panda Express and they're like, we didn't do it. It was your delivery driver. And it's like, well, duh, but yeah. So anyway, if you're a delivery driver and one of your customers asks for raspberry tea, they're what? Well, yeah, A, make sure it's raspberry, but B, it's in the regular soda fountain section. You know how they have the Coke and the Sprite and usually they have a Diet Coke and some kind of root beer. Um, you know, it's in that and it's clearly labeled raspberry tea, but I figured out that I only like the brisk and they've got Fuse. So it tastes like raspberry tea, but it's not as good as the brisk. And Dollar General has it quite often. So I'm like super excited about that. Um, Kind of super excited about tomorrow because it turns out that Wheel of Fortune is now on Game Pass. I don't know if I said that 2 hours ago or whatever. But yeah, Wheel of Fortune is on Game Pass, so I own it, but that means that I can go and play it for Game Pass points, and I won't have to play something that I don't want to play instead. So I'm really looking forward to that because every day on every month on the first of the month, you play 4 games for the weekly and 8 games for the monthly or something like that. So, the first 4 count for the 8, and you just gotta play 4 more games after that. And I think I have a chance of playing all games that I actually like to play. Because at one point in time, you saw me playing Lone Mountain Skiing. I did not like playing that because it didn't, um, the game controls weren't as good as I would have liked them to be. Um, Dang it. It's 11:48. We may not be able to finish this street on stream because we got to take those trees out over there. I mean, we took all the trees out and the leaves are not disappearing. They usually disappear. Um, yeah, so like on Friday I saw those I saw this what looked like a work truck out there and I'm like, I wonder if that's them. And it turned out yes, it was them. And I was like kind of watching them probably in a creepy way. Not I wasn't intentionally being creepy. I was just, like if they were watching me through the window, I probably looked, like that creepy nosy neighbor on movies. Um, But I was just trying to find out, are we next? Do I need to turn off my computer? Yeah, I don't know. But it ended up that our unit wasn't even getting worked on because we'd already had it done recently. We don't know what recently means though because I didn't actually explain. Oh, okay. I think we're done. After we cinch this up, I think we're good. 'Cause yeah, I saw more trees over there, but that's because the reds, the redstone doesn't render that far down. Oh, I meant. Anyway, well, one of the things that my husband's been watching lately is those HOA Karen videos, and they're just a story. The way that they're being told because like people have power that they're not supposed to be having. Like yesterday, this guy like pretty much owned the lake, and they. Yeah, okay, so we'll be able to cinch that up next time. Probably tomorrow. Unless I get done with a lot of stuff for my sister, and then um, unless I get done with a lot of stuff for my sister. I want to at least get Vanellope done today, and then the day after that, I can try to get, because yesterday I was trying to do the star path, and um, so anyway, I want to try to get um a bunch of the stuff done for a bunch of the quests done for um Vanellope. Um, the only thing is that if my sister can actually play, um, I was trying to get to where I could fish in gold ripples in the storybook veil, and that didn't work out at all because they were all white. It did not work out at all. And I got her a few things that only if she's working on the storybook veil can she use, and yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Um, it's probably gonna end up being um, that for her, I go and make I want to make a storage room, or some storage rooms, um, on the third floor, or maybe the 20th floor, and surprise her with it. So so I'll do it, and then I'll say, hey, go up to the 20th floor, or wherever we're gonna put it. Going to the 20th floor is gonna take a really long time. That's why I'm saying like the third floor. Um, anyway, I want to set it up exactly the way I've got mine set up, but with obvious gaps. I mean, not gaps, but you know, not so much stuff because she only has the stuff from the valley. And then I'll have, the stuff that she shouldn't be having in a special chest in another spot. What I was trying to find was the Daisy wardrobes. And I did not find that. So she doesn't have that yet, apparently. Because I thought the Daisy wardrobes were a full chest. I wish they would upgrade every single one of the refrigerators to a full chest. Because there's weirdos like me who want some kind of realism, even though even though it's just a game, they want some kind of realism. So, like, it's fish. You got to put fish in a refrigerator or it's going to go bad. You know? So, we're going to go back down to the other end real quick and hey, yeah. We're going to go down to the other end over here real quick and, make sure that everything's okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Um, so yeah, we've chatted about a whole bunch of nothing today. Um, well, and some important some things, but, um, I think I've been pretty entertaining today, so, um, hopefully. Not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying, look at me, you know. I'm just saying that I try to be as entertaining as possible, even though I'm not getting like super excited, like, oh my gosh, look, it's a tree! You know? There's people that do that, and it's like, why? I'm just not the excitable type when I'm streaming. Anyway, okay, so I know I said this earlier, but I write books. They're available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. They ship everywhere that Amazon ships to. They're good for free shipping, and you don't have to worry about money conversion because they do it for you. As far as I know. Anyway, um, so the hardbacks, I know it's ridiculous, but it ranges from 24 to 27, depending on which book you're buying. Um, the 24 book is Esperanza's Party, and the 25 book is The Island. The 27 book is Lessons in Love. All the others are 26. Um, Coral is not available. Coral's my children's book. Um, I thought, we've got um cats, and we've adopted all of them. So we got Coral from the Nevada Humane Society. We got Ben from the lady upstairs because she was allergic to him, and he was going to go to some kind of pound if. Oh yeah, I call it the kitty pound instead of the animal shelter. Anyway, he was going to end up going to the kitty pound if he didn't get adopted. So I'm like, we have to adopt him. My husband wasn't too thrilled with it because we had two cats at the time, or maybe we only had Coral. I'm still a little fuzzy on that one, but anyway, whatever. Um, okay, by the time we got Ben, we only had Coral. So they never got along though, but not in a bad way, but like they didn't get along so much because she was not able to have kittens and he was still able to make kittens. And then finally, after we got Sam, they were always fighting over Coral. They were always fighting over Coral. But eventually we did get uh, uh, Ben fixed, and then they were starting to want to play with him more recently. I mean, like, he would come over and hang out with me. It looked so sad because nobody wanted to play with him. Well, now his brother plays with them, and he goes around the house going, Sam! Sam! He's so cute. So then I go, you want help finding him? And he goes and gives you that look like, yeah, please. So we go find Sam, and half the time it's he wants Sam either upstairs with him or downstairs with him, depending on which one he's hanging out in. But Sam's like, I'm my own person and I will hang out where I want to hang out. You know, even kitty people have their own opinions on those kind of things. But anyway, so for paperback, Coral is $6. All the others are $20 each. And then for ebook, Coral is $2.99. Pirate's Daughter is $3.05. Esperanza's Party is $3.05. All the others are $5 each. And if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. And if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Notification bell. Please get those valid public watch hours up. You've been doing great so far. Because last I checked, we were at 1,246 or so. And thank you. Thank you for that. We need to get up to 3,000 though, so please keep up the good work. Please buy my books. I really would prefer to, work out of my own home rather than go to somebody else's store where she's saying I'm married to the job, you need to be too. I'm disagreeing with that one. Because that's showing up. I mean, that's giving me a red flag right there. Like, I do not want to be on vacation, that she allowed me to have, and expecting her to call me right in the middle of it and say, you need to get your butt back here because, somebody didn't show up to work. Or getting fired because I asked for a vacation. Because that's the way she was talking. And she said something about 11 minutes for break. As far as I know, government-wide, it's 15.
Depends on the company, that some have 10.
No.
Yeah.
No, because Uncle Sam said on an 8-hour day. Uncle Sam's the name that we use for the government. Just in case you're in another country and don't understand that term. Says that you're supposed to get, on an 8-hour shift, you're supposed to have 2 15s and a half an hour or an hour for lunch. Depend on what your company policy is for the lunch, because you have to get a half an hour, but some of the companies like Walmart, I know I'm usually talking really bad about them, but they give you an hour for lunch. Some people don't come back on time, for that time period, but I think that's crazy. There were some times when we had lunch and I'm sitting there going, "Are we there yet?" Because the break takes so long. But it was nice because you got to sit down long enough. It's like the one thing that they do care about is that people don't get so discouraged about being on their feet all the time that they just go home and never come back. But they also have that attitude of, if you don't want to work, we'll find somebody who does. Well, the only problem is that I don't know if I want to work for Walmart, but I want something. I only want something so I can get paid, so I can advertise my books, so I can advertise my books, so I can work from home like I would like to. Because I don't seem to be able to find a legitimate, actual work from home business that isn't like scamming people out of their hard earned money, or um, you're supposed to be a person typing out. There was one that was supposed to be a person typing out medical stuff, but you had to like know medical technology. Yeah, not good. Anyway, so I will see you in the next stream or video.